Hey peeps, Tyler here with a writing update. This isn't scripted, so bear with me. Um, I have been I haven't really gotten words down, but I have been working on stuff. I got an outline finished. It's over 3,000 words. And while I am still on the pantser side, because this story is going to be long, apparently, and now I have an outline, but there's a whole lot of stuff I still don't know, and I know anything I think I know can change at any moment. Because I still haven't finished the rough draft of Chapter 3. I have, like, 2 scenes I think I still need to write. But I have an idea of where I'm going now. More of an idea of where I'm going now. So that is awesome. And I'm very excited to get there. I think I know the ending. At the same time, again, that could change. So, if I say anything, just know it can change. Because I'm still in the rough draft. But, at least I kind of know where I'm going now, and I have a direction, and if I diverge, because the characters decide to go somewhere else, so be it. And I will go along for the ride. So, I know I haven't said much, which is for a couple of reasons. One, I don't want to spoil anything. And two, if I say something and then shit changes, but like, that's probably to be expected, so. Right now the main character, as I've said before, is a trans boy. Right now I have him starting off at 10 years old, but it goes for a few years. There's like time skips. He'll be like 15 or 16 at the end. And so right now where he's starting off as 10, I had to come up with 2 names for him. Because his parents don't accept him. And so obviously I needed the name that they gave him, and then the name that he will eventually choose. And the name that he will eventually choose has changed from the one I initially started, so now he's had 3 names, and I have like all of them in different notes. It's a good thing I know those 3 names refer to the same person. Right now, his initial name is Maple. All the names are like autumn related. Most generally because it's set in its own world. I'm building a whole ass freaking fantasy planet. But obviously not the whole planet is going to be seen in the novel, because that would be a lot. It focuses mostly on, they will have to move a little bit, but it focuses mostly on the autumn country / large island, because it's a whole bunch of like gods and goddesses and deities, because I finally remembered, oh yeah, deity's a word I could use for the non-binary gods. And because I was confused about that for a little bit. I'm like, what do I use for the non-binary gods? So I didn't want to use God, because then that sounds kind of confusing, and it's a whole thing. So, anyway, there's many of them that I've so far created. You won't see all of them in the story. I'll probably end up with a whole series, and there's going to probably be at least a sequel. Possibly a prequel too, but I could probably end up just creating book after book after book in this world if I wanted to. Whole different thing. But this particular series, at the moment, I'm just thinking of this book and probably a sequel. So, for this story. And anyway, there are gods and goddesses for one for each of the seasons. Hence, the autumn goddess is the one that plays the most prominent role in this story, and right now her name is Scarlet. But so you got Maple, and you got the Scarlet's the goddess that plays a big role, and I do have other characters as well, and even though the main character is a trans guy, he is not the only queer character, not by far. This ended up way queerer than I expected. And I'm already kind of mourning some characters I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to kill. Which is unrelated to the queer thing I just said. But... and... I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to be YA. I think it's going to be like 16 plus, but we'll see what the hell happens based on what I end up writing. But I'll figure all that out when I'm done and actually see the whole thing. You know, the genre, the age category, etc. But there will be magic. As I mentioned, there's gods and goddesses. And... of course, there are the other seasonal ones that I mentioned, but there's also other gods and goddesses as well. Fleshing out the whole world, there's also other countries and whatnot. So I'm actually world building. I'm going to try not to end up in world building procrastination hell, because I've heard of that. So let's not do that. But obviously I need to know something, and doing this world building is fleshing out the story more, and it's fun, and it's awesome getting to know the story more, so I know where the hell I'm going. Because, like, I knew... it's basically, like, I'm going in the dark, and before my flashlight was, like, not really working, and now it's working, but there's still all the dark around me. I don't know if that makes sense. But, for the characters, besides the two that I've already mentioned, there's also his parents, because he's a kid. And then there's I don't know if I should say their names or not, but there's Ivy, which is a trans girl who is the same age as him, who has a brother named Forrest. They have a dad and a grandmother. Names may change, by the way, because, like, I'm terrible at names. But their dad is currently named Oliver, and their grandmother is currently named Wren, like the bird. But then there's also a couple other characters that I don't necessarily want to say at the moment what they are. For the world building, after I went on a crazy god-making spree, I then decided to figure out how they're related. So, because, you know, some of the gods made other gods, and there's like kids and grandkids. The Scarlet actually has god parents, because she's a goddess. And at the moment I have it, I figured it just makes sense to make all the season gods and goddesses siblings, so there's that. But now I'm also trying to figure out, like, okay, I pretty much got the climate figured out, but I'm working on, like, okay, now what animals are there, and there's, I'm also using this book. I think I can't actually see. Yeah. This book. So after animal life, I still haven't thought of like the architecture yet, and then there's the history of the place, which I've thought some of, and then there's like politics and government and class systems, etc., that I will be going through. And it's not necessarily just gods and humans either. And yeah, I'm just looking through my outline here because, like I said, I don't want to spoil anything. There's like multiple threads that I had to order, because first I got a whole bunch of plot points just randomly that came to me over time, and it was just a mess. So I'm like, okay, now I gotta order them. So then I ordered them and figured out more shit. So thankfully now they're ordered now. There's a whole bunch of threads that eventually have to come together. Not a whole bunch, but there's a couple. And then, of course, like I said, it spans a few years, so there's going to be some time jumps. Not like huge ones, but... And there's just so many, like, themes and stuff that I'm noticing, many of which are not intentional to begin with. Some might be, but some of them was like, didn't even notice I was doing that. And I'm sure that's going to happen more and more. And yeah, like I said, that I'm trying to be vague for those reasons, but I am having a ball. So now I have to continue with the world building. Once I get some world building, I will continue with the writing, and then I will probably be in middle draft hell, because even though I know where I'm going, trying to find the words is easier said than done, but I'm so very excited. And right now, I don't even want to say the names of stuff because everything's a mess. Because like how do writers name countries and shit? I try to use fantasy generators and stuff, and so much of the shit I can't pronounce, so I try to come up with my own shit, and it doesn't matter what I come up with, it's always already a word somewhere. So, at some point I'm gonna have to go through all the names and fix shit, probably. But, that's what editing's for. So yeah, I'm having a ball. And I didn't do anything, don't save. But, yeah. As for how long it's going to be, it'll be however long it's supposed to be, but it's definitely going to be a novel. There's no way in hell I'm getting that under 50k, I don't think. So it's gonna be my first novel-length story. Unless you want to count all the sim stories I've written, maybe. But then I have no idea how to count the words, especially because some of them I deleted. But, so my first traditional novel-length story, and not my first story, but this long. So I'm thinking it might be around 90k. I don't know, 80, 100, 70. I don't know. But it's going to be a novel. And we'll see how long it is. And I'm done. I'm not quite sure what else to say, so if you have any questions or thoughts or, I don't know, writing tips, whatever, comment down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.